Let's talk about some standard geometry problems that are done in algebra. For instance, here we have a rectangular garden which has a perimeter of 322 feet. Perimeter is the distance around, don't forget. In other words, it is the sum of all the sides. This doesn't matter whether it's a triangle, a rectangle, some crazy shape. The perimeter simply means the sum of the sides. So in this case, we know we've got a rectangle. In order to be a rectangle, opposite sides have to be the same length. So they typically call the one on the bottom the length and the one on the side the width. This will be the same length, this will be the same width. Since the perimeter is the sum of the sides, that it's an L plus a W plus an L plus a W, which a lot of times they will write typically as 2W plus 2L. But you don't have to memorize a formula, you just have to know the definition of the perimeter. So we know P is going to equal 322. The length is 5 feet more than the width. So if the width was 10, the length would be 35. If the width was 50, the length would be 75. The length is going to be the width plus another 25 feet. So we know the length is the width plus 25. This is standard for all rectangles. This is specific to this particular rectangle. So that we know the length is the width plus 25. So what we've got here is 2 times the length, W plus 25, plus 2 times the width is going to equal 322. Don't forget this part and just put 2 times the length. That's just going to be part of the way around. So now this is just an algebraic equation. Let's distribute this. 2W plus 50 plus 2W equals 322. So we got 4W plus 50 is 322. We can subtract 50 from both sides. 4W is going to equal 272. W is going to equal 472 divided by 4, which is going to equal 68. So if the width is 68 feet, and we know that the length is 25 feet more than that, if we add 25, we'll get 93 feet for the length. Another very common problem here we go. Another very type of problem has to do with a rectangle, triangle. Now you can do a perimeter problem with a triangle, of course. Area problems have a tendency to be quadratics. But another one that'll come out linear a lot of times is where you're talking about the sum of the angles in any triangle, the sum of the sides is the perimeter, but the sum of the angles, no matter what size the triangle is always going to be 180 degrees. So if we want to just call these A, B, and C, we know that angle B is 5 times as big as angle A. So this angle, if this is A degrees, then this angle is 5A degrees. Angle C is 2 degrees less than angle A. Now this means that if angle A was 50, angle C would be 48, right? You don't get that by saying 2 minus 50. You get that by saying 50 minus 2. So angle C is going to be angle A minus 2 degrees. Less than means subtract, but the order is always reversed. So it's subtract and reverse the order. So angle C is going to be angle A minus 2. So if A plus B plus C is 180, then angle A, the one they don't tell you anything about, is just going to be the one that you use as the variable. Plus angle B, which is 5A, plus angle C, which is A minus 2, is going to be 180. This is 1 and 5 is 6 and 1 is 7. A's plus 2 is 180. Subtract 2 from both sides. So 7A is going to be 178. So A is going to be 178 divided by 7, which is going to be 26 degrees. So if A is 26, then B is going to be 5 times 26, which is 130. C is going to be 26 minus 2, which is 24. Well, let's check. 130 plus 26 plus 24 will be 10. Carry the 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 180 degrees. So A is 26 degrees. B is 130 degrees. And C is going to be 24 degrees. So that's a couple of examples of typical geometry problems that they do.